Bitter criticism. I'm gonna try to end it up this file, this episode. Today's episode is being just too far. The file is huge. Uh, it is 155 pages. So that's why it's kind of impossible to read it all. And well, I'm just gonna keep going. China says open to space cooperation with the US. I'm not gonna read. Yeah, I skipped the late news from India, but I guess it's a nice subject. I guess I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish this article. Uh, what will Modi's third term in India bring? From Duigu Kagla Mairam, June 6th. It's been a great article because it's all about India. All about India. Whoever is interested. India has recently sought to play a constructive role in the international system for naval deployments in the Indian Ocean to protect commercial shipping from attacks, to offer in India-style ways to address global issues during its G20 presidency. But there is a risk that India may seek some exemption from global norms rules due to its self-perceived exceptional status. This will sometimes increase stress in India's interactions with the West. But at the same time, with the frame of global geopolitical developments, India will continue to enjoy international goodwill as the Western world continues to seek both a democratic balance and a commercial alternative to China. And I will add to Kazakhstan. I guess Kazakhstan is a country just like this, just like a balance, a country in which the West is trying to balance the geopolitical forces, just like India. India's efforts to maintain partnerships with both the US and Russia without becoming allies, which are strict constants on its foreign policy, will also continue, while the US, in India's vital economic partner, provider of critical technologies, and a base for the influential and wealthy segment of the Indian diaspora, Russia remains a vital arms provider, an important partner in nuclear energy, and an indispensable balancer against the US in the context of maintaining the viability of India's strategic autonomy. India is a country that theoretically tries to maintain moderation in foreign policy, a country that wants to remain in a middle position between the poles of influence in the system. However, in practice, it is a country that tries to use the one against the other. A country that wants to balance China with the West, the US with China, the US with Russia, and Pakistan and Turkey with Greece, Armenia, Israel, and even the United Arab Emirates with Saudi Arabia. Well, I guess it's not the wiser policy, I guess, because sometimes the balance will fall. The balance will stop. For example, India, which has openly expressed its desire to develop strategic closeness with Armenia in South Caucasus and Greece in the Mediterranean, has been making strategic calculations in a region that will face Turkish hegemony by cooperating in bilateral and multilateral arrangements in the India-Armenia-Iran and India-Armenia-Greece-France formats. In March 2021, India's ambassador to Iran, Gadam Dharmendra, announced India's intention to establish an international north-south transport corridor by connecting the Indian Ocean to Europe and Russia via Iran's Chabahar port and Armenia. The major political goal behind India's geostrategic ambition is to bypass its rival Pakistan. As a last word, it will be useful to say the following as a sincere suggestion. India should develop a strategy taking into account that Turkey is leading the geopolitics of the region and should give up its habit of personalizing Ankara's interactions with Pakistan or any other country with which it has problems. If India were to quit its futile efforts in using one country against the other, it will help India foster its political trust and create a more solid win-win platform in the region. And we have the same message as before. If you want to contribute and have specific expertise, you know. So another CGTN news: China says open to space cooperation with US. China, June 6th, from yesterday. We have a Chinese woman. Look, a Chinese regular woman. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning. Mao Ning is kind of beautiful. Mao Ning at a regular press briefing in Beijing, China, as a regular Chinese woman. Maybe CGTN is saying she's a regular beautiful woman, maybe. China always holds an open attitude towards space cooperation with the US, a foreign ministry spokesperson said on Thursday, urging the US side to take practical measures to remove obstacles hindering cooperation in this field. Spokesperson Mao Ning made the remarks at a daily press briefing after NASA Administrator Bill Nelson on Wednesday congratulated the success of China's Chang'e 6 mission. Nelson expressed a willingness to increase space dialogue and cooperation with China. Chang'e 6 completed the world's first sampling and takeoff on the far side of the moon, taking a historic step in the peaceful use of outer space by mankind. Mao said, noting that many countries have made positive comments about the mission, expressing gratitude for the same. She noted that China and the US have established mechanisms such as the Working Group on Earth Science and Space Science Cooperation and China-US Civil Space Dialogue mechanism, as well as a mechanism for the exchange of orbital data between the two countries' Mars probes. At present, there are some problems and difficulties in China-US space cooperation, and that are rooted in US domestic legislation, such as the Wolf Amendment, hindering normal exchanges and dialogue between the space agencies of the two countries, she said. The Wolf Amendment, adopted in 2011, prohibits NASA from engaging in direct or indirect cooperation with China. If the US sincerely hopes to promote exchanges and cooperation in the space field between the two countries, it should take practical measures to remove these obstacles, Mao noted. This news was with input from Xinhua News. This is one of the funniest headlines I've seen for a long time ago, and I want to read it. Look, Transpotting reaches a new online generation of enthusiasts. Transpotting, just like the movie, just like the Junkies movies, the Junkies. Do you know that movie? Transpotting. Well, Transpotting. I never thought about that name till now. Europe, from CGTN, May 30, is being from 1 week ago. Siobhan McCall, with millions of followers on Instagram and TikTok and a host of celebrity collaborations, Francis Bourgeois has been credited with making Transpotting cool again. Online searches for the often derided hobby have soared in the last few years, thanks in a large part to Bourgeois, whose real name is Luke Nicholson. He's inspired a lot of young people to upload their own contents and in some cases gain their own following. Jasper Curtis, a 15-year-old from Southampton, is one of the young rail enthusiasts inspired by Bourgeois. Traveling around the country to film rare trains, he has grown in his TikTok following to 27,000, while it's not quite the 3.1 million who follow Bourgeois. Curtis hopes to make his passion for the railways into a full-time job. What the hell? I enjoy exploring the country. Making new friends is a really good way to spend time with people. He tells CGTN Europe and Eastlight in southern England, a station popular with train spotters because of the variety of models that pass through to reach Eastleigh Works Repair Depot. Is the feeling of when you see a train that you've never seen before. You've seen something that maybe other people haven't. It's very exciting to see that train and hear that horn. Oliver Smith is making a career from train spotting. His YouTube channel, Lazerges, has more than 100,000 subscribers, and he says he loves the social side of his hobby. We all have a laugh. We all have a chat and talk about what we have seen. Smith tells GTN is a lovely community, and it can think of anything better to do, and I can think of anything better to do. I like transporting because of the sound. Hearing a train pass through a station at full speed, you feel the thud of how fast and strong these machines are. I'm not gonna read everything because it's just it's big and is I thought it will be interesting, but it's not. But actually, once I was watching the old trains here in this city, in Valparaiso and Viña, the Valparaiso train, and I had a feeling about the train. You know, I like it. I wonder when the train will be dumped because of new trains, and I feel sorry about the train because it was kind of beautiful. You know, yeah. So I'm a train spotter. But maybe I can travel. That's it. Maybe that's my problem. You know, if I had the money, maybe I will be a full-time train spotter. But I do like trains. What about trains? Chinese vehicle manufacturer BYD unveils new double-decker bus design. This is more actual, I guess. More Europe, June 6th. This Kitty Logan in Surrey. This is kind of this BYD double-decker bus, double-decker, maybe even no. This is the London's double-decker bus. The iconic red double-decker bus has been transporting London's passengers since the 1920s. Its modern version is becoming greener, with around 1,300 zero-emission buses on the capital streets, a combination of electric, hybrid and diesel buses. London already has lower emissions than many other major cities. Transport for London says it aims to convert the entire fleet by 2034 to meet clean air targets. One of the several manufacturers already contributing to the current fleet, Chinese-owned BYD is bidding to add its latest state-of-the-art double-decker bus to London's busy roads. Yeah, look, it's true. So double-decker buses in London, they are BYD now. BYD unveiled its new upgraded electric bus model. So Looks like BYD is hot. They are good cars. I've seen some of the cars right here in Chile too, but very old, I guess. I'm not sure if they are electric. You know. Last week it unveiled the new upgraded model at the London Bus Museum in Surrey. BYD, which specialized in commercial electric vehicles, says the key feature of this new version of the double-decker is greater battery power. Uniquely, this bus is the first example of us using our new blade battery in a commercial vehicle, and what that brings with it in advantages of safety, performance and value for money, said Frank Thorpe, managing director at BYD UK. With specially designed battery packs forming part of the structure of the chassis, the bus has a range of up to 400 miles from a single charge. BYD says this design makes the bus ideal for London's lengthy routes and allows for more space for passengers. The vehicle also has a tight turning circle designed to better navigate London's narrow streets and heavy traffic. BYD says that despite these upgrades, it has stuck to the traditional look of the original red bus. For the end user, nothing looks any different. Thorpe told CGTN. They see a red bus, but they are getting all the benefit of this technology. Yeah. He added, London has really high ambitions for the bus network to become zero emission by 2030. And that's going to be a hell of a lot of work. So really our work starts now. But we have a great foundation in which to push on. BYD hopes its new double-decker will be providing a passenger service to Londoners by the end of this year, although details of any deal with Transport for London have yet to be announced. Interesting. Global temperatures likely to temporarily breach critical temporarily breach critical 1.5 degree level. June 6, Europe. So the temperature is going high. The World Meteorological Organization (WMO) has warned of an almost 50% change that global temperatures will temporarily exceed the critical 1.5 degrees Celsius level set by the Paris Agreement. I think the world is bracing for unprecedented heat, as indicated in the report we published. The WMO's head of climate prediction services, Ilfram Mofoma Okia, told CGTN, we have a 90% chance for the next 5 years to be warmer than the past 5 years. We have 90% chance for at least one of the years in the next 5 years to be the warmest on record. He continued, in the next 5 years we will beat the 2023 year in terms of record heat. The report warns that there is an 80% chance that at least one of the next 5 years will exceed 1.5 Celsius degrees above pre-industrial levels, at a benchmark set by the 2015 Paris Agreement as the threshold of concerns to prevent irreparable climate change. The report further warns that there is a 47% likelihood that each of the coming 5 years will surpass the 1.5 Celsius degree threshold. The WMO short-term set its annual warming did not in itself equate to a permanent breach of the lower 1.5 degrees Celsius Paris Agreement goal. We are playing Russian roulette with our planet. Russian roulette, said United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres following the release of the report. We need an exit ramp off the highway to climate hell. The good news is that we have control of the wheel. The battle to limit temperature rise to 1.5 degrees will be won or lost in the 2020s under the watch of leaders today. Who knows? Who knows? I guess the problem is they are taking even more oil from the Arctic now, from the poles, from Antarctica now. We have a photo from climate protester march in Boston. According to the Copernicus Climate Change Era 5 dataset, the 12 month period from June 2023 from June 2023 to May 2024 has sat at 1.63 degrees Celsius above the 1850 to 1900s pre-industrial average. Behind these statistics lies the bleak reality that we are way off track to meet the goals set in the Paris Agreement, said WMO Deputy Secretary General Co Barrett. We must urgently do more to cut greenhouse gas emissions, or we will pay an increasingly heavy price in terms of trillions of dollars in economic costs, millions of lives affected by more extreme weather, and extensive damage to the environment and biodiversity. Barrett added, WMO is sounding the alarm that we will be exceeding the 1.5 degrees level on a temporary basis with increasing frequency. The WMO is a United Nations agency tasked with international cooperation in meteorology and climate, and has been tracking efforts by member states to abide by the Paris Agreement. The pact commits countries to limit global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, vying to keep levels at 1.5 degrees Celsius or lower. It's pretty hard because they are still taking oil from the ground. You know, there's no way to cooler the world by still burning oil. And well, the good news is there's plenty of land in Siberia. People will have to migrate to Siberia, or Canada. And well, we have subscribed to Storyboard, a weekly newsletter bring the best CGTN every Friday. Oh, that's nice. But I guess I'm going to go to the website anyway. Why European telecoms companies need the best tech at the best price? What? I got nothing from that. It's a teaser from a video, I guess. Telecommunications firms have to be at least at the forefront of innovation, or risk becoming irrelevant as technology moves on. When leading Hungarian telecoms firm 4IG wanted to stay one step ahead by providing cloud-based services for companies, the obvious answer was to strengthen its existing partnership with Huawei. So Huawei, I'm agree. You know, Huawei is awesome, and maybe Huawei is even better in telecom. You know, in companies level, big companies, energy level. We have a long-standing relationship. We started our cooperation in mobile infrastructure. 4AG chairman Gellers Jasai tells CGTN. What we signed with them some months ago was about building the 5G infrastructure, the digitalization of Hungary, the digitization. I guess it's wrong here. Digitalization of Hungary, I guess. This will allow us to offer new services and to create new areas for our clients, existing customers, and new customers. For Jazai, Jasai is a way of leveraging and improving the existing increasingly strong ties between the two countries. Quote, the Chinese are Hungary's biggest trading partner, and last year 380 Chinese companies already had businesses in Hungary. In Hungary, he says. So it's a new market for us because it's based on one of the most innovative and best technologies. Whoever can provide them with cloud-based services will be able to provide these companies services in data centers and cloud-based applications. Technological challenges. The European Commission has been critical about Hungary's strengthening ties with China. And while Jasai is careful not to offend, I wouldn't take positions on political issues. He sees things very clearly from the commercial angle. Quote, if you see it from the business side, it's a totally different approach, he says. What's most important is being able to provide the best services for our customers. If I have the best technology at a very competitive price, yeah, I don't know which is the European alternative, you know. We have a photograph. 4AG chairman Jeller Shasai says firms want the best tech at the price. Interestingly, Hungary is not the only country working with China on this type of technology, he notes. The biggest open cloud-based service data centers in Germany are based on Huawei technology or in 5G infrastructure. The biggest European telecommunication players like Vodafone or Orange are also using Chinese technology. Huawei still has more than 50% of the mobile infrastructure market in Europe. So yeah. So why Hungary cannot? Because Hungary is not so powerful, you know, I guess. That infrastructure has to keep improving, not just for 4IG, but for all companies. For Jasai, the fragmentation of the fiercely competitive European market can cause problems with implementing the rolling improvements necessary with fast-moving technology. In Europe, you have hundreds of telecommunication operators for 3 to 400 million customers, he says. While in China, there are 3 telecommunication operators for 1.5 billion customers, or in the US, there are 3 telecommunication operators for 400 million. It's a huge disadvantage for Europe in general. The partnership with Huawei and the relation between the two countries are very important. We are a bridge between China and Europe, and I think it's very important that these ecosystems have to stay connected. The race to space and AI. Improving technology means that telecoms firms need no longer restrain themselves to terrestrial ambitions. Many are looking towards space. Earlier in May, laying the foundation stone for a new aerospace manufacturing center. Hungary's National Economy Minister Marton Nagy predicted the first Hungarian satellite could be launched by 2027. The space industry is a multi-billion business. It's huge, and in 3 to 5 years it will triple its volume, says Jansai. Compared to 10 or 20 years ago, when a communication satellite weighed up to 2 tons, now a satellite can be 100 to 400 kilograms and can be more efficient than a 2-ton satellite. Yeah, definitely. So a lot of ships in there, isn't it? There's a lot of ships. Jasai interviewed by CGTN's Pablo Gutierrez, CGTN. This shrinking technology presents an opportunity that 4AG has been quick to investigate. With the 4,000 square meters facility Nagy opened in Marton Vastar in Feder County. It was groundbreaking. It was a groundbreaking ceremony in more ways than one. Quote, is the first not just Hungarian but Central European space manufacturing center, says Jasai, which will be able not just to manufacture satellites up to 400 kilometers, but also assembling and testing, integrating and testing these satellites. To other hot button topic in any modern conversation about technology is AI. It's revolutionary, and not just in Hungary. It has an impact on the telecommunications IT space globally, says Jasai, who says the recent link up on cloud services also covers potential developments in AI. Quote, we agreed to jointly invest into an innovation center to research which areas AI could be the best for telecommunications in uniting infrastructure. And we see very important areas where we can use AI for improving customer services, improving efficiency, cybersecurity. Interview by Pablo Gutierrez. Subscribe to Storyboard, a weekly newsletter bringing you the best of CGTN every Friday. And that's it. Well, I copied the same news again. I'm not gonna read it again, of course. International Canoe Federation's opens representative's office in Hangzhou. But I guess I'm done. Yeah, just more 16 minutes, but I'm not gonna read this one. Look, International Canoe Federation opens representative office in Hangzhou. Sports, May 30. Sports scene. I don't care about canoe, actually. I don't know why I check this news. Exclusive IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva. This is from May 27. I guess I have to read the Al Jazeera now, Al Jazeera's news. Editors note, despite geopolitical tensions affecting trade and capital flows, the post-COVID global economy has proven to be remarkably resilient, in the International Monetary Fund projecting growth levels exceeding 3% from 2024 and 2025. How can economies, especially in emerging and developing countries, tackle low productivity growth and high debt levels? How can China's new quality productive forces open new opportunities? In this edition of Leaders Talk, Wang Wan sat down with Kristalina Georgieva, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund since 2019. Georgieva will serve for a second 5-year term starting on October 1st, 2024. She praises China for its strong support to the IMF and says that China has maintained a good momentum of development in fields like green economy, digital economy, and artificial intelligence. Georgieva contends that the digital and green transformations will present opportunities to boost productivity and improve living standards. In this regard, like in other areas such as poverty eradication, Georgieva remarks the world can learn from China. What we learn from China and pass on to other countries is this ability to take the long view, she acknowledged. These videos, these documentaries are great, I guess. I never saw one, but I will, I guess. And I guess I have Al Jazeera news now. News election. The battleground is Palestine. Israel's war looms over European elections. EU insiders and voters say many will be backing parties that are supportive of Gaza. Yeah, this is from Al Jazeera. People take part in a protest in support of Palestinians in Brussels, Belgium, by Priyanka Shankar on June 6, Brussels, Belgium. Elections for the European Parliament traditionally focus on issues such as the cost of living, foreign policies, climate change, and the European Union's migration policy. But as the continent prepared for this week's critical votes, a new topic surged to the forefront: Palestine. Uh, how EU politicians are addressing Israel's war on Gaza, violence in the occupied West Bank, and the future of Palestine has become a central theme driving political discourse and voters' choices in the 27 nation bloc. Uh, I'm gonna skip because, as I always say, I guess capitalism will always. There's no solution, you know. Maybe this is important now because of communication and videos and morbosity, you know, of blood and stuff. But I guess Israel have a lot of ways to finance the weapons. You know, this for me is a mystery. How Israel, where they take all the money from to finance all the weapons. You know, that's the key question. You know, I guess it's from the whole capitalist system. From the U.S., from me, from myself, from YouTube. You know, explainer news. Business and economy. Why are Nigeria's worker unions up in arms? Unions are engaged in negotiations with the government as they demand raise in minimum wages amid cost of living crisis. From Nigeria, by Shola Lawal. Nigeria's trade unions earlier this week went on a nationwide strike, shutting down the country's power grid and disrupting flights as they restored to drastic measures to press the government to hike minimum wages amid a cost of living crisis. The labor union suspended the indefinite strike on Thursday after government officials invited them for negotiations at the industrial action affected power supply for the country's 200 million people and stranded thousands due to flight cancellations. And that's it. I'm not gonna read because I don't know. I know nothing from Nigeria. Why is Nigeria going through a cost of living crisis? Because it's a normal country, you know. It's just like Chile. It's just like everywhere, I guess. Did President Tinubu worsen the situation? I guess just like Gabriel Boric, you know, it's just like him. Nigeria. What has the government said? I don't care, you know. Good luck. I always remember about Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. He used to live in Nigeria. He has Nigerian roots, but then she fly to Greece, and now he's super ultra happy. Al Jazeera News opinions. Gaza. How does the U.S. anti-war movement today differ from what of 1967 to 1968? Yeah, this is interesting. It is much easier to distort facts and create false narratives about students protesting war today in the era of social media than it was 56 years ago. I guess I'm not gonna be able to read all of this, but it's super interesting. Jim Lowry, writer and broadcaster, June 6, Al Jazeera. Pro-Palestinian students continue to demonstrate with a protest encampment on the campus of Columbia University. Yeah, it's huge. Look, it's a huge campament. Definitely, social media made the difference. You know, this is all thanks to social media. Schools are out, summer vacations fixed, but if the past is any guide of the future, United States university campuses come autumn will again erupt in demonstrations with inevitable violence and arrest if Israel continues its war on Gaza. I covered my first anti-war demonstration on October 21, 1967, when a 19-year-old cub reporter for a local Washington D.C. radio station. Then a 19-year-old cub reported for a local Washington D.C. radio station. I marched with nearly 100,000 people across the Arlington Memorial Bridge into Virginia and onto the Pentagon. They were a mixed lot, but most just wanted to end the Vietnam War and bring home the more than 380,000 soldiers fighting there. But some seemed to be rooting for the Vietnamese communists to win. A 29-year-old protest leader named Walter Teague, who I came to know, carried a Viet Cong flag. Famous novelist Norman Mailer later profiled Teague in his book Armies of the Night, calling him a longtime revolutionary who believed in the communist liberation of Vietnam. Anyway, I'm just gonna read the one of the well, it's huge. It's a huge article, but it's interesting. The senior, well, yeah, it's a shame. This is an article I want to read, but I couldn't because of CGTN. They embraced Netanyahu's denunciation of student demonstrations in April. They predictably condemned the increasingly large percentage of progressives and Democrats who identify themselves as anti-war and pro-Palestinian rights. The senior leader of the progressives, 82-year-old Senator Bernie Sanders, came out swinging last month. No, Mr. Netanyahu, it is not anti-Semitic or pro-Hamas to point out. That is a little over 6 months. Your extremist government has killed 34,000 Palestinians. Anyway, unlike 56 years ago, the 2024 election will not be decided by the fractures caused by a foreign war alone. The fractures in today's America are arguably deeper and more dangerous. But what is remarkable is 21st century America is the ease with which political operatives in their social and mass media supporters set the narrative, distort facts, and create false equivalencies to detriment of all. I guess I'm even more critical than him. Jim Lowry is a writer and broadcaster who has specialized in Asia for more than 50 years. He's author of the book The Last Helicopter: Two Lives in Indochina. Economy, health. In China, weight loss drugs are becoming big business. Chinese pharmaceutical companies are racing to roll out weight loss drugs amid the popularity of Ozempic. And we have a fat Chinese guy trying to lose weight. By Frederick Kelter. China has more people who are overweight and obese than any other country on earth. What? Taipei, Taiwan. Ozempic is big business in China. Last year, the Danish pharmaceutical giant Novo Nordisk doubled its sales of the diabetes drug in the country to almost 700 million, 5% of Ozempic's global sales. And well, I'm gonna jump to the later one, to the last one, to the later. Vietnam T. Cong, as sentenced to death, could face new charges, state media says. I guess I read something about this. Boeing CEO to front U.S. Senate amid safety crisis. I guess I have time, you know. Maybe I'm gonna back to the to the student crisis news. Yeah, I'm going back to the news I didn't read. Look. Oh, I'm just going away. I'm not sure. Look. I lost the news. I lost the news. Yeah, I lost the news. Yeah, I lost the news. Well, I'm going. It was a nice news, but I lost it. I lost it. And well, right now I'm going to college to upload these videos. The college is near here. It's near to the stadium, to the Santiago Wander Stadium. I mean, it's not Santiago. I'm not sure if the Santiago Wanderers owns this stadium. I guess not. I don't know why, but soccer clubs, they never have a stadium. There are few soccer teams that actually have a stadium. They are the owner of the stadium, you know. I can say in Brazil, for example, Palmeiras, they have a stadium, but they are soccer teams. They don't have. I'm not sure which teams have a stadium.